I'm too lazy to write project.
Hey guys, this is Fred Ranger, fredranger.com or .com, whatever. Today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite software out there. Obviously it'll come as no surprise if I tell you that my favorite software is actually Lightroom 3. For a couple of reasons. So first of all, it's a complete, like I don't have to go anymore into Photoshop or into another external editor. If I want to edit my photos, I can do everything I want into Lightroom. And since I'm not a big fan of multiple layers and stuff like that, I just like a good photo, natural looking. And yes, I'll play with a lot of details on each photo, but at the same time I'm not a big fan of having to use multiple Photoshop tricks to get your photo right. So basically Lightroom 3 offers you things like grain control, which is awesome because, as you know, all of our DSLRs are introducing some noise as soon as you bump up the ISO, and I end up shooting quite often at high ISOs, and since I have now my D700, I love the fact that the Nikon captors or sensor actually is working great on ISO, but that's another story. So getting back to Lightroom 3 today, got a photo, and I want to have your opinion on two treatment that I actually applied on those photos. So let's jump into the subject and let's go see that photo. So that's the actual photo of my friend, one of my friend Greg. Photo that I really like. At the time, if we look at the metadata, I shot this with at the time I had my D300S, so really good camera, crop sensor. I shot this at f3.2, ISO 200. It was a really bright day, so that's why you're seeing also the 2000th of a second at 50 millimeter with a Tamron lens, a 17 to 50 millimeters 2.8. So that was quite a good lens also. Yeah, so this is the shot that I've worked on, and want to know what you think. So I have two options here. So the first option, you'll say, I just said earlier on that I don't like to when photos don't look natural, but sometimes I do like a big contrasty effect. So this is why I have this option here. Oh, is it working? Yeah, here we go. So basically did a couple of adjustments. Let's go just see in the history. Exposure for sure. Worked on my exposure, so plus 25. A little bit of recovery light. Fill light, not that much. I like it when the blacks are black, so I can even just add it a little bit more so we don't lose the details. No, it's good like that. I'm a big fan of contrast. I love, like I said, really contrasty photos, so this is why I bump it to 83. Brightness plus 50. Some clarity. I really like the clarity slider because what it adds, you can just see if I zoom in like that, you'll see a big difference. When it's at 54, let's go back to where it was before. 0, no clarity. So you can basically see what it adds, and it adds some depth to the photo and some details also without adding any, introducing any over sharpen problems. So really a big fan of those sliders over here. Obviously Vibrance to give a little bit more life to the photo. Saturation -2. Why did I did that? Let's go saturation. Oh, because yeah, the photo is already really saturated, so the image has all the information about the color it needs, so no need to bump up the saturation. Let's put it back to -2. So just so you can see what's the difference if so tone curve. Not that much going on here. Split toning, details. I have my sharpening preset that I use, that I apply to every photo. So this is what you're seeing here. And you can basically see again the difference when you go into some details like that. If I turn it off, you'll see over here. If I turn it on, boom. So it adds really some details to the photo, which is great, especially on a portrait. Noise reduction, don't really need it because obviously shot this in bright light and low ISO, 200, so no need to bump up any noise reduction sliders. Lens correction, no. Effects, nope. And no camera calibration. So basically those are my settings for this photo. I quite like it if you look at it on a black background like that. Quite like it. So that's the first option. Let's go see the second option. So this one is really in another world basically, and what we did is we actually desaturated this photo. If we look again, kind of the same basic adjustments, so a little bit bumping up the blacks, exposure plus 48 to give this really bright look. It looks more like a magazine cover or something like that, but what I don't like is the fact that we're losing the details or the colors of the lips here, but it's another option. Brightness, so contrast is up to 100, so really contrasty photo. Brightness plus 64. Clarity, again, big fan. So vibrance, what we did here is we actually desaturated this photo, so look what it changes actually. Oh, that's quite interesting. And if we go back, minus 21, this is what it actually does to the photo. Vibrance, again, if we want to have this really desaturated look, not quite black and white, but in between black and white and color, turning down the vibrance obviously helps. Again, no really, I end up using less and less this tone curve sliders because I'm doing all my adjustments, like the main adjustments that I'm doing are actually in this box with all exposure, brightness, clarity. So I end up not using that tone curve anymore. That maybe I should. You tell me what you do with your tone curve. Yeah, so color, as I said, the saturation was, I wanted the red to come down, but as I'm saying that, I just want to see what it does if I bump up the reds to 100. Yeah, so the lips are coming back a little bit, so I might have been a little bit aggressive on that desaturation of the reds. So let's just bring it back a little bit, like that. Yeah, I like that better. Yeah, like that better. So this is the desaturation of the red. Details, again, that's my general preset in terms of sharpening for portraits. Lens correction, nothing happening there. Effects, what happened if we add a little vignetting? Not sure, maybe a little, like that. And grain control, no need for that. So yeah, basically here they are, the two options for this photo of my friend Greg. I don't know, you tell me what you think. I kind of like more the first option we worked on, so this one. So this is the original RAW file. Again, not a bad shot, but this is why I love Lightroom 3 so much, is that you can get a photo from here, this RAW file, to here, which is way better, and to here if you want to have another type of look. So you just create virtual copies that doesn't take lots of space on your hard drive, and basically you can play with your photos as long as you want. So tell me what you think. So this is option, I'll put those on the blog. So this is the RAW file, this is option 1, this is option 2, and this is before and after. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk soon. Booyah.